paid my dues time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few. I've had my shadows and kicks in my face, but I've come through. I need to go on,
But of course, after Wimbledon, the race was on for Australia, really, trying to make it for here. I mean, I knew I had plenty of time, because probably in actual fact, if I would have kept everything short, it would have taken 4 months maybe. But I was just pushing it then, you know, I wouldn't have to take chances and test any earlier than what would have been good. But by giving myself 6 months, I had enough time, except if I had some setbacks, and I never had that. So actually at the end I had plenty of time, but so I always felt like I was going to be here. So I'm happy I'm here though. That means the job was well done. Can thank my team for that, and yeah, it was an interesting last 6 months to say the least.
What did you miss most?
Miss most from here, you mean?
Generally, when you were out, what was it about tennis that you missed?
Tennis, you know, I guess you do miss the matches at some point. You know, you miss the feeling of winning, walking onto a stadium, seeing the guys. You know, it's like an extended family to some extent. Anyway, you know, you walk around here, it's probably the same for you. You see faces you haven't seen in a while, and it's just nice to see everybody again. Plus, I have a lot of friends on the tour, you know, because I'm a returning guest for like 20 years everywhere I go. So it feels good to see those familiar faces every single year, and it's something I couldn't quite enjoy the last 6 months. So that's probably what I missed the most.
How the body has reacted in the preparation, but Hopman Cup, and since you feel everything is in order?
Yeah, it's under control. I feel great. I thought Hopman Cup was a great preparation. We'll see if it was perfect or not, but conditions felt virtually identical to me. You know, center court in Perth was, you know, sort of similar size. Court speed felt the same. You know, obviously same continent and all that stuff, but it felt really good. And then practice was more about just managing, maintaining, not overtraining, but nevertheless still play enough to get used to the conditions here again, even though it's the same. But you know how it is, you just have to put down the hours and play the sets, and I did that. And yeah, it's just more quiet now, whereas in Dubai I was really forcing the issue. You know, I was training extremely hard, and I don't have to do that anymore this week, so I feel like it's been a light week.
Roger, how do you know you're going to be able to handle the long 4 sets, the long 5 sets that Australian Open inevitably brings up?
Well, I mean, I guess it's slightly the unknown, but you could then argue that it's the same for everybody. We don't play 4 or 5 setters every single week. You only play them in Davis Cup now and in Grand Slam plays. I went through a year where I didn't play any 5 setters an entire year. You could think that that's a good thing for longevity, but it's not a good thing because you don't know how it feels to play a 5 setter anymore. And yeah, a lot of guys haven't played 4 or 5 setters in a long time, or maybe never before in their life. So from that standpoint, I don't feel like it's a huge disadvantage or an advantage for them. And I trained as hard as I possibly could, so I will be ready for it. I did numerous sessions where I trained over 2.5, 3 hours, so I feel I'm ready. But like I said, it is the unknown. It's the part that I can only answer once I've been there.
There's a lot of unknown for you in your draw because you play qualifier and then winner of 2 qualifiers the next round. Does any part of you sneak out today to try to watch some of Tiafoe Smichek or Polanski or whoever these guys you might not know who are floating around, or is it not worth scouting until you know?
Severin and Ivan, my coaches, are out and about, you know, checking it out. Yeah, I mean, it'd be good to know who I play. I guess I could tell you what I think, but I guess I'm waiting to find out, and then once it's out, it's actually a good thing, because then you can actually start mentally really preparing for the Aussie Open. I mean, I am, but is it a lefty, is it a righty? It's going to make it's a big deal, a big difference, you know. Is he a big server, is he a grinder? I don't know. So yeah, it's a bit of the unknown here, the first round, because that's the draw, part of the draw I care the most about because of having not played.
Like catch up, having missed 6 months, there might be more new faces that you're unfamiliar with than usual.
Not really, I don't think. I mean, I've never known all the guys in qualifying, or so there's always new faces coming up every season. Guys, a lot of them who played futures or challenges still a year ago, who were maybe 300. Next thing you know, is they're in the top 100, and it's nice to see those new faces. It's nice to see the changes, and it's no different this year, I don't feel.
Roger, you will remember, I imagine, what it was like to first become world number one, which is what Andy's obviously experiencing this week. Does it feel any different? Do you get looked at differently, do you feel? Do you have a different sense of perception?
I mean, I think it definitely feels different, yeah, because everybody comes up to you and says, you're the best, so you start walking around a bit differently, just feel more confident overall in your shots without having had to play. So it's a good thing, and usually when you win, it solves everything. So from that standpoint, he's only won virtually the last 4 months. So I'm sure things have been very smooth for him and his life and family. Everything's great. What is there to talk negative about? So the negativity goes out of the door a little bit, and that's a good thing in tennis when you can think positive and feel positive. That rubs off into match play. Then I guess you come to a point and you just can't let it affect you, and you have to remind yourself how hard you had to work to actually get there, and it's going to require that plus more to stay there. But I feel like because Andy's not 18 years old, he knows all about that. I don't think the ranking in this regard changes him in a big way. I think it's too late back for him to also change because of it in terms of attitude towards us. And yeah, like I said, I'm super happy for him. He deserves it. He's been in there for a long time. He's had some tough losses, some great wins over the years, but he never kind of strung it together that it would pay off. So this time it did, and it's great for him, great for the sport.
And just from your perception as somebody who's played the role of number one in the world, upcoming player, you've dominated for many years. In many ways, this year, you're kind of an underdog. You talked about the unknown. You're kind of an underdog. Are you looking forward to being that?
Yeah, why not? For a change. I mean, I prefer to be the favorite, but underdog is okay. Yeah, no, it's fine. As long as I'm healthy and I feel like I can go 4 or 5 sets, I can, go many matches in a row, then I think it's going to be fun. If I feel like I'm in pain in the matches, then obviously it's no fun, because then it almost doesn't matter what your seeding is and your ranking is. It's always the same. But no, it's a great draw because I'm in the draw. So for me, I'm super pleased and that I made it here and that I have an opportunity to win matches. How many will rest to be seen. I'm cautious myself. So yeah, clearly an underdog this time around.
That you might feel that this is a little bit like coming home. So welcome back. Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
نعم يبدو بأنك عدت إلى
Did feel that way a little bit.
بيتك.
Now, the body looked pretty good. You look like you were moving like the Roger of old. It's been a tough year though. The knee's okay. It's been well documented.
This year hasn't been so tough yet. Last year was tough, but no, it's nice to be playing normal tennis again on a center court like this. Always, it's beautiful, and couldn't be happier. I'm here now. It was a long road, and I made it. So I'm in the draw, which is a beautiful thing, and hope I can stick around for a little bit. But the first rounds are never easy for anybody, so I'm just happy I'll live another day.
But the form not bad at all.
Absolutely. Any match is a good match. Even if I would have lost today, would have been good because I'm back on the court.
All right, that's great.
اي والله حتى لو خسرت يا روجر راح تمتع الناس. يقول حتى لو خسرت انا راضي عن نفسي لان العوده الى المباراه هو شيء يفرح ويسعد.
I mean, you couldn't play like you normally practice. Did you travel as much? What were you doing?
I was home more. I was in Switzerland quite a bit. Was enjoying the summer after Wimbledon. Good thing was I didn't have to have surgery again, so I was actually living somewhat of a normal life. Just that I had to do rehab and actually resting in the beginning, which was quite nice. I think the body always is good to have a rest from time to time. I'm a big believer in vacation, so that's what we were doing a little bit. with the family, and we were having really good times catching up with friends and family. And then we did a few trips, but nothing crazy. Really take advantage of the fact that we could stay in one place for longer than probably 4 weeks. It was nice.
Right, no fishing, no skiing that time of the year? No?
You could go on a glacier maybe, but not with that knee, and no, I didn't have confidence. And fishing, it's a bit too slow.
You're a bit too young for that, aren't you?
Right, I chase kids around the house. That's my job.
Beautiful. Now we've always known you've had a lot of style, but was there something about GQ last year? Did you win some award?
Yeah, the most important award of the year for me. At least I won something last year. I won the most stylish man of the year from GQ, so that's why I have something like this tonight.
Well, unlike me, who's never been accused of ever having any style, it's nice to stand next to you.
Well, you look very stylish indeed because of
You're too kind. Noah Rubin, Roger, do you know him? Do you know of him? He qualified. He's waiting for you.
Don't know very much, but
he's American.
Well, good to know. I knew that.
You're just happy to be in the second round now, eh?
And the good thing is I have a day to get ready and get the information I need. I was watching him actually play a little bit, so I think he's a right-hander as well, which helps me a little bit.
All right, mate. Well, look, it's just such a pleasure to see you back. Well done. Keep it going.
إذن كلمات استغناء لها من كوكب التنس بعد 6 شهور. ها هو بتصريحات روجر وابتسامته المحودة هنا يظهر في مالبون بارك وتحدث عن مواجهته القادمة مع روبن. يقول لا أعرف عنه الكثير ولكن يبدو يعني أعطى معلومة قال يلعب باليد اليسرى، وأيضا تحدث عن الراحة بعد بطولة ويمبلدون. قال أخذ راحة وابتعد عن الرياضة وكان مع العائلة والتقى بالعائلة والأصدقاء أيضا في بعض الرحلات، وأيضا تحدث عن ظهور هذا اليوم وفوز مهم للأمانة، فوز مهم يحتاج إلى مثل هذا الفوز. هنيئا لروجر بهذا الفوز والمرور إلى الدورة الثاني، وهذا الفوز رقم 308. هذا رقم قياسي، يعني أكثر لاعب كسب روجر، وهذا الفوز 308. مشاهدينا الأعزاء، فاصل قصير بعد تقريبا من الآن.
Rog, well done. I guess it never gets any easier.
No. Did you expect it easier?
Did you know much about him? I mean, he's a youngster. He's 20 years of age. It must be tough, you know, or it is tough, not knowing these young guys when you don't know how they're going to play against you.
I guess it's tough either way. If you know them really well, it's no good because they know all your weaknesses, and if you don't know them, they probably know you better than you know them. So, but it's all right, you know. I've played out here many times, so that's my advantage maybe. But I did see a little bit of Noah going into this match. I mean, he's been around for a couple of years now. You get to see a few matches now, and yeah, he plays well. Great fighter, great legs, aggressive on the ball. I think he had the upper hand from the baseline, so I think my serving kept me in the match today, and I'm happy I got through somehow.
Well done. Yeah, please. I know you're a man who knows your tennis history really well. You were quite aware that he won the Junior Wimbledon Championship, weren't you?
Yes, I heard about that.
Yeah, and it just so happened he's a bit slower than you. It was 16 years later than you.
Right, but that's probably because he's like 16 years younger than me too.
Good point. Rog, you looked like you were moving well at the beginning of the match. So you felt your legs a little bit possibly. I mean, the matches, it's getting used to them again, isn't it, without not having matches for a long time?
Did it seem that way, that I was slower at the end?
No, you're the best 35-year-old I've ever seen.
Don't worry, Fritz. You can tell me the truth. I wasn't feeling as good as in the beginning, so it's all right. But I definitely got a little lucky winning that third set. He had a couple of set points on my serve against the wind, so it was good to fight through and get through that first set, which was difficult too. And a lot of difficult moments out there. That's what I need to get used to again to keep progressing in this tournament.
Great. To progress to the third round is a good effort, but there's a long way to go. Thomas Berdych next.
Yeah, it's not an easy draw.
either it's the youngsters or the old guy, you know, in the first round, like myself, and now we got another veteran, former top 10 player, or is he top 10? I'm not even sure, but anyway, he's beaten me in New York, he's beaten me at Wimbledon too, and at the Olympics, so he would like to beat me here too, I'm sure. Maybe he has even, and I've forgotten, but he's a great player. I like Thomas's game, and I'm sure it's going to be a tough one.
Well, if he's not easy for you, he's pretty difficult for the rest of us. Well done, Rog. Great to have you still here, mate.
Okay, Roger, wow, that was quite impressive. Let's be honest, did you expect to play that well tonight?
I don't know. I always felt like probably against better ranked players, you always lift your game naturally because you have to, and I know Thomas really well, so I think usually you feed off of each other. He didn't, I did, so good for me, but I didn't quite expect it to go this hard. Also, I knew it was going to be a tough third round if I got there, and I couldn't be happy right now, obviously.
They seem happy too. It's been 6 months. You've been away from tour tennis. You did play the Hopman Cup, but since Wimbledon, since you played a tournament of this stature, I mean, you must be pretty surprised and happy and pleased that you're able to turn it on this quickly, I would imagine, yeah?
Absolutely. I had no expectations, really. I mean, in practice, things are going well, but I've never been the practice king, so for me, practice is not that important other than just work hard, and if I win the sets or I don't, it doesn't really matter. But I was winning tons of sets, and I was not sure if that's a good thing, because usually then when I was a junior, I remember I didn't want to win in practice because the match was counted. So anyway, I'm happy it went as well as it did, and I was able to continue to run here, even though I did feel like I struggled in the early rounds here the last few days. But today was different. Never looked back. Served great, and court plays fast. So it's been unbelievable, and I did surprise myself.
6 months. 6 months you were home. That hasn't happened since you started your career. What did you miss most about tour life?
I guess there's a lot of things, you know. I mean, we did it a good time, and I'll be there more so in the future at some point, but not for the moment. So I'm happy to be back in tour life, like you said, because I do feel like it is my extended family. All this, the guys like yourself, or all the players and the fans and the officials and the tournaments I haven't seen for a while. It's nice to see them all again, because I do consider a lot of people my friends, and when you're home, you don't see them, and you do miss them too, because you don't stay in touch that much when you're home, because you know you're always going to see each other again. So 6 months was a long time, and it's nice to see a lot of the players, and now obviously playing in front of crowds like this is what I train hard for, so it's paying off. It's great.
It must be nice also to have the man who this building is named after sitting up here watching you perform like that tonight. Rod's here.
See you. It's always very nice when he shows up. Thank you again to be present in the building. It's beautiful.
Next up, it doesn't get any easier. Your draw is very challenging here. Kei Nishikori, that's going to be a big battle. What do you think about that next matchup?
I guess I'm ready now. There's no turning back now. So I like Kei. I've always been a fan of his game. He's a nice kid, and he's really made had a great few seasons now, and he made the World Tour finals last year. I followed him closely, and remember when he was 17 and we played in Japan, and I don't know, he's just a good guy, so I'm happy to play against him. He's got maybe the best backhand in the business right now, so I got my work cut out, but I hope I can play a good match.
Now, I had a chance to visit with your wife, Mirka, prior to the match, and she told me, you know, I probably shouldn't share this with, well, I'm going to share it with a few of our friends anyway. She said you had like a special diet treat last night, like pre-match, something that you probably don't do that often to get ready. Maybe your kids brought it for you. Did you eat something special last night?
Did I?
Maybe some ice cream or something?
Oh, yeah, I like my ice cream and I like my chocolate, and that's my diet, so that's nothing normal. This is
Don't tell me that.
This
That's
is like
not
an
right.
everyday thing. I like my treats, absolutely. So I don't feel even bad about it. I feel good that I can do it and play tennis at the same time.
Well, I'll tell you what. You make me feel bad about it because look at you, 35 years old, playing like that. Get out of here, Roger Federer. We'll see you in a couple nights. You're in a hurry to get off the court, Roger. 3 hours and 24 minutes wasn't enough time for you?
I was looking for you and couldn't see you, so
Sorry.
I was almost gone. No, but I don't know. I was just following Kate. He got a great round of applause, which I'm happy for him. He was playing his heart out, and I thought it was a great match. So it was a joy to be part of it.
Kay got off to such a quick start. He was up 2 breaks on you, 5-2. How'd you get back into this match? He was running away with it early.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't playing badly. Maybe I wasn't serving the spots very well, or he was reading my serve well. It's a quick court, so things happen very fast, and it was about staying calm, I think, in that moment, being down 4-love, 15-30, almost going down 6-love. So I thought it was not going to get any worse from there. Kay was clocking the ball, and I was just saying, okay, just try to find your zone and your rhythm on the serve, and maybe from the baseline, Kay will maybe give you some looks, which he's not the biggest server on tour, so you will. But then he's one of the best baseliner we have on tour, so he's going to keep you at bay there. And I just thought it was tough, but it was hard not to win that first set after all the effort. But it did pay off somehow at the end. So.
Yeah, well, you got up 2-1. You lost that first set in a tough tiebreaker, and then you were rolling. Your serve was so strong. You're up 2-1. Then you had chances to close it, didn't get them. What did you tell yourself after he stole that 4th set from you? What did you say at the change of ends?
Well, it was not really stealing, but I know what you're saying. He deserved that as well. He was hanging tough and playing really well on the big points. I thought I had chances break points early there, and I was playing great. And you know how it goes. Just all of a sudden, he picked the right sides, and it became difficult. And I couldn't get a look anymore on his serve. And next thing you know, it's in the 5th. But I was telling myself, there again, stay calm, feel fit. I've trained as hard as I possibly could in the off-season. I know everybody tells you that, but that's what you tell yourself, and you hope it pays off. I know he's got a great 5-set record. He's a tough customer, so this is a huge win for me in my career.
Well, we knew at the beginning of this tournament, when the draw came out, you had a brutal draw, right? Thomas Burdick, the last round, Kay this round. You still have a very tough draw. It's just a different draw. Andy Murray lost a great match to Misha Zverev today. Did you watch that match? What do you think about your next opponent?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did watch it because it was played right before us, and once I come into the building, I watch tennis, a lot of tennis, and at home, tennis is always running, not in my house at home when I'm not on tour, but when I am on tour, there's tennis on TV non-stop, so I don't miss a beat, and I thought it was another incredible match, like with Novak against Istomin. I couldn't believe it. I would have never picked it. I like Misha a lot. He's got a nice game coming forward, so it's going to be totally different to what we had today, and I'm really happy for him, and also Sasha's brother. They played some unbelievable matches on this court, and at the end, I guess he was going for it and deserved the win. It was nice to see, but a tough one for Andy, but he'll be back many more years, and I'm sure he's going to win this.
Well, it's been nice to see you pick up so quickly after 6 months off tour. I mean, your talent is intact. We know you're such an amazing athlete, but I think I've found a weakness in you, Roger Federer. I looked hard. Actually, you showed us. You posted a video with Grigor Dimitrov and Tommy Haas. You guys were doing a little bit of singing this week. I think we may even have it. Really? All right, we can wrap. That's enough. That's enough. We got enough. That was enough. All right. 2 questions. Is this sort of a normal Grand Slam thing that you do? And the second question is, who has the terrible pitch? Whose voice is that? Is that you? Are you the really poor singer in that group, or is that Tommy? Be honest.
I thought it was terrible acoustics in that room, you know. Oh, God. I didn't even know that song that well. I've heard it many, many times, but the lyrics was not my thing, so that's why I think my voice was playing up a little bit, but and I thought Tommy saved us. he sang this song many times, so he was just putting up the lyrics for us. And Grigor, I think he just looks good. His voice was terrible. But the pianist was the best. David was the best.
Yeah, David Foster produced that song. Roger Federer, you produced some great tennis again. We'll see you in a couple days, Raj. Well done. Roger, you've known Misha for quite a while. I'd like to start off by getting your thoughts on his tournament, his first Grand Slam quarterfinal, and that performance.
Well, I thought he played an incredible tournament. He had a brutal match with Isner in there as well. That's never easy. Plus, I went the distance, and on a sort of outside court with those kind of conditions against John is a tough one. Then he backed it up with beating Andy and other great players, and I was so happy for him. He's gone through some tough times in recent years with injuries, and it's just nice seeing guys like this, you know, back on the court enjoying themselves and getting a second chance or maybe a fifth chance. So it's nice for him, and I was really happy that he came out and played such a good match. And I guess he's got his career best ranking now, and he can build on that for the season, and they can do it as brothers, which is even cooler.
Yeah, his younger brother Sasha also having a great run. Now, you don't play a lot of players that play his style, pure serve and volley. What was your strategy tonight to combat that?
Yeah, unfortunately, not so much anymore. I used to like those days, you know, when they used to come in a bit more. It makes for nice points. There's a lot of passing shots and volley winners. I love it, you know. I think it's super athletic. And yeah, the game has changed. Tournament directors chose to make it slower. Tennis balls have become slower too, so it's okay. I had to adapt my game and play a different kind of style. I enjoy this too. The baseline slugfest is okay too. So we'll probably get some of that in the next match, but conditions allow you to play, you know, forward. And I thought Misha did a terrific job this tournament, and I hope it's going to inspire some more players to do that in the future.
Well, we missed seeing you since Wimbledon last year. Wimbledon was your last official tour event. You made it to the semifinals, and then you weren't able to play the rest of the year with injury. What were your expectations coming down here to Australia for the level you were going to play?
Well, not to play Stan in the semis, I tell you that. I thought I was going to maybe win a few rounds, depending on the draw. You know, maybe get to a fourth round quarters. That was my call. It was a Swiss press anyway. I told them, look, that's my expectations if the draw is okay.
Was that before you saw the draw,
Yeah.
which is a crazy difficult draw?
No, this was before I saw the draw. And then when I saw the draw and people were talking about the dream draw, I was like, what am I missing? I'm not seeing a dream draw at all. So anyway, the press is there to debate about it. I'm happy. I played as well as I did this tournament. I never thought it was going to be this good. And here I am still standing in a semis against Stan. Could be cooler for the both of us. So can't wait.
A wonderful day for Switzerland. Both of you guys getting through into the semifinals. You're going to be playing now for the 22nd time, I believe. You guys have played a lot. But what's key for you? What's critical in that match to succeed against Stan?
Yeah, I mean, like he's a clutch player now. He's really turned it around for himself. US Open proved that again. He's won a slam the last 3 years. Yeah, Davis Cup, when it was important, he was right there for me, for us, for Switzerland. So I saw it close by. It was cool sharing the court with him there, also in the doubles where he played unbelievable. So for me to play against Stan, I think I always got to stay aggressive. You know, the more time I give him, the better he is, like most of the big hitters. And he's the biggest maybe that we have in the game right now. I'm happy already for him that he's gotten this far, but he does need to go one step further, you know, so it's enough right now. But no, I'm looking forward to the match. Of course, Stan knows I'm joking somewhat.
You're putting the big brother on him right there. Well, speaking of, well, I'm going to speak of family, because you have your big family with you here. You have 4 children. What have they been up to in Australia? You've been in Australia now for a couple of weeks, right? You came in early to Perth. So how have they enjoyed the country? What have they been doing?
They've been busy, you know, they're kids. They never just sleep all day like we do. Or do we? Do you?
I don't sleep. I don't know what you're talking about.
There you go. Well, with the late night sessions here, I had to sleep in the morning, so they knew that, you know, Dad can't be around that much in the mornings, but they really enjoyed Australia. Perth, they had a blast. Here as well. Melbourne, they know better, obviously, because they've never been to Perth before, and they've been active. They go outside every day, and they told me many times, please don't lose, Daddy. We don't want to stay here for longer.
for the first time today, one of my daughters said, "It's actually okay. I'm happy to go skiing in Switzerland now." So I was like, "Come on, give me one more match here. Maybe I can hang around for a couple more days." I think she's going to be all right with it.
What are their favorite activities with Dad? What are their favorite things to do with you?
Well, here I'm not going out as much as I do usually when I'm in Switzerland. You know, I like take them in the outdoors. I like going out to nature or just being with them. So, I mean, with the boys now, it's hide and seek and all that stuff, you know, crawling around the floor, wrestling with them. And with the girls, it's, you know, if I can help them with homework or if I can, you know, just talk to them and just hear their thoughts, what's going on in their head. That's plenty for me right now in Australia.
All right, well, let's just stay away from drawing any bats for them in the next few days. That's how you hurt your knee last year. We'll look forward to seeing you and Stan in a couple of nights, Roger. Another awesome performance. He is Roger Federer.
He is utterly unique, isn't he? Disarmingly honest, wonderfully engaging, and quite simply one of the best tennis players that's ever picked up a racket. A joy to watch, a joy to listen to. I can tell you his kids are playing tennis out here in Australia. I've seen them on the courts in Perth. But it's Dad who still wields the racket and the power. And one wonders what that semi-final holds for all of us.
So, Roger, boy, what a match. You're up 2-0. Stan gets treated for an injury timeout, comes out with tape on his knee. What changed at that point in the match?
Well, it's good to talk about the bad stuff first, I guess, but...
Yeah, let's get it out of the way. Come on, there's more good stuff coming, I promise.
There's good stuff coming, good. Oh, thank God. But, no, honestly, I thought I was in the match at the beginning of the third as well. I was really feeling good. You know, he seemed like he was maybe a step slow, or maybe he was just getting used to the tape. That stuff happens. So then, after that, all of a sudden, I thought he relaxed, really, and I just... couldn't serve as well as I did, and you know he let it go, and it worked well for him. And next thing you know, it's like it's hard to stop the bleeding, I guess. And I fought in the fourth and just couldn't really get my rhythm back. And I felt, I don't know, I was playing tight, so it wasn't easy. And Stan, you know, maybe he was also playing nothing to lose anymore. I'm not sure, but it was definitely very tricky to get to playing good tennis for both of us in the fifth.
I got one more tough question, then we'll get to the good stuff, okay? You're treated for an injury timeout. After the fourth set, what was your issue?
Well, I've had a leg thing going on for the week, so and I felt it from sort of the second game on in the match. I don't know why, but I just said, you know what? I never take injury timeouts. Stan already took his, so I guess people won't be mad, and Stan won't be mad, hopefully, and it wasn't on the set change, and you know, you just hope something works. So that physio, he's got some magic hands going on.
I'm not a doctor, but leg thing is a little unspecific. Is there a calf, quad? What's the? Because you look like you're moving really well.
Yeah, I thought I was moving actually the same way like in the first couple of sets. I'm not sure how much it brought to me, but so if you go off the court, that means the treatment is further up the leg.
You don't need to be more specific. That's enough. We're going to move along.
We're not that specific.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the leg, right?
No, we're moving on to the fifth set. We're leaving that. Fifth set. These things are getting looser and looser, these interviews. Fifth set, you're down a couple of break points. I mean, walk us through how you escaped that fifth set and turned it on.
I don't know how many break points I saved. Oh, 2. Was it 2? Jeez. It was, yeah, no, it was tough. I felt that Stan had the upper hand in the fifth from the baseline. I felt like he was reading my serve well. Maybe that had something to do with him being more relaxed. I don't know, but I just knew that I had to stay in it somehow, and that if I played aggressive and connected on a few returns, that all of a sudden it could turn around. I did feel like he gave me a bit of a cheap break. It's not like I really deserved it at that moment, but after that I did well. I served it home, and I couldn't be happier right now.
Yeah, it sounds like you're not the only one who's happy. That you're into your sixth Australian Open final. After the 6 months off tour, I mean, what does this mean to you to be back at the Grand Slam final again?
I don't know, I felt like everything happened so quickly at the end. I was disbelief. I had to check the score after the match point was over. I was like, is it 5-3 40 love like I thought it was? And I'm doing the interview, it's all real. So it feels amazing. You know, I never ever in my wildest dreams thought I was going to be coming this far here in Australia, and here I am. Got a couple of days off. It's beautiful. I'm so happy.
Well, there's still more work to do. One more match, and it's not going to be easy. We'll talk about both opponents. Your first opponent, we'll talk about Grigor Dimitrov, who's playing so well. He won in Brisbane. He's on a roll. What challenges would he present if he's in the final for you?
Well, he's got a very complete game. He can mix it up super well, and I think he's very confident right now. You never want to play confident players, but it's either got to be him or Rafa, and so it's going to be tough regardless. But talking about Grigor, I really like his game. He's got a nice playing style. I think that's why also a lot of players come out and watch him, and he's had a tough couple of years, and I'm happy for him that he was able to turn it around. And I didn't think it was going to be this consistent, this tough, this tournament, but he beat some really quality players, and now he's got one of the ultimate tests in the game in Rafa tomorrow. So I'm going to be watching that too.
Sure. Well, you know, Grigor is still, he's a little upset that you released that music video on your social channels that showed your singing talent, in quotations. So that may give him a little bit of something to play for tomorrow night to get a shot at you.
Well, it's all mind games at this point, you know. No, I actually think he knew that I released it.
Oh, he found out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your greatest rival in your career, Rafa Nadal, and what he's meant to you, and just look into that matchup and give us a little preview of how you'd be looking forward to that match.
Yeah, it's real now. I can really actually talk about playing a finals for the first time. I've been dodging that bullet, you know, for the last sort of days now, not talking about the next round and the next round, but this is the last one. So I'll leave it all out here in Australia, and if I can't walk for another 5 months, that's okay. So I'll give it all I have. Rafa has definitely presented me with the biggest challenge in the game. I think I played him too many times on clay early in my career, and I think that had something to do then the way I played him on different surfaces too. But I think this court allows me to play offensive. I mean, I'm probably his #1 fan of Rafa. I think his game is just tremendous. He's an incredible competitor, and I'm happy we did have some epic battles over the years, and of course it would be unreal to play here. I think both of us, we would have never thought that we were going to be here potentially playing in the finals, because I went to open his academy in Mallorca with him a few months back, and I told him, look, I wish we could do like a charity match or like something, but I was on one leg, he had the wrist injury, and we were playing some mini tennis with some juniors, and we're like, that's the best we can do right now. A few months later, we're maybe going to be in the finals. I am, he maybe. So I think it's very special for both of us this tournament already. So I just hope it's going to be a good match tomorrow.
Thank you, Roger. What a terrific, wonderful tournament you're having, and I think the fans are going to be looking forward to seeing you on Sunday night. Well done. Roger Federer, everyone.
So Roger, we look at this year and you coming back 6 months off. Just talk about, for you, did it free you up at all, sort of the lack of expectation or not really knowing what to expect this Australian Open?
I think from the third round on it did. I think the first 2 rounds, of course, I wasn't quite used to the conditions yet, you know, because match situations are different to any practice that you've had previously. Even the Hopman Cup, you know, it helped me to get ready for the first couple of rounds, but the pressure you then have, you know, in a Grand Slam play is just different. So I struggled with that in the very beginning, but was able to then free myself when round 3 came around, and I understood exactly how the ball's flying into the corners, how they're sliding, how they're kicking. And then once I figured it all out and I played this great match against Berdych, I think from that moment on I was like actually believing that something was possible here, that maybe I could beat actually Nishikori. But then probably if I were, then that probably would be it, if I would have to play Murray. But I kept on rolling, playing really great tennis, and now I almost can't believe it. I am in the finals, but it's very exciting talking about it at least.
The mindset around that, there's obviously a lot of hype around you and Rafa playing in that final. So how do you, I guess, clear your mind and be able to approach it as just another match, or do you not approach it like that? Do you have to sort of give it a special category?
I mean, I think it's definitely very special also for us, and it will taste so much sweeter because it is, you know, the other guy across the net for both of us. So I'm very much aware of it. Of course, the first 24 hours after my win against Wawrinka was all about recovery, happiness to be in the finals. Still looking back at a super successful comeback. So all of that, and then ever since I started watching Rafa against Dimitrov late last night, that's when you start preparing for the finals. And you know, I looked at it and I thought it was the match of the tournament. It was an incredible feat by Rafa, but also Grigor. I'd like to point out how great and how he left everything out on court. He showed incredible heart. It was a beautiful match to watch. I didn't expect myself to sit there for 5 hours, but I did, and I didn't miss a beat. And I think it puts me in the right mindset come Sunday. I know it's going to be tough, and I know Rafa's going to recover, and it's going to be a tricky match. It feels like 2009, where he went through a brutal 5-setter against Verdasco, came back on finals day and played another brutal 5-setter against me and ended up winning. So I hope that this time around luck's going to come my side.
When you look at him across the net, sort of the impression of playing him in 2017, what impresses you most, or what are you sort of in awe of Rafael Nadal, and what, obviously people are in awe of you, but what are you in awe of him?
Well, just again, another comeback for him as well. It might be not as big of a comeback than that he's done in previous years, where he's really come back off some sort of a long-term injury, but he did have a very rocky 2016 as well, you know, having to pull out at one point at the French Open, which you know he will only do if basically something's really wrong with him. Then pulling out of Wimbledon yet again, which he's done sometimes in the past. Then not playing for the last 3 months of the season. I saw him in that period, you know, when I was in Mallorca to see him. And yeah, so I think that's impressive yet again, how easy he makes it seems to come back. I know you have to put in, again, another heroic effort, and, you know, he's playing as good as he ever has, I guess. So it's just nice to see that with our best games, and also with Rafa's best game, he's still able to weather the younger generation.
You've had some great wins against him, but overall sort of the rivalry has been in his hands. He's got the upper edge. So how do you manage that, as far as, does history play a role, or do you sort of push that out of your mind and decide this is a new match against a player that you know so well?
Yeah, I mean, it is a new match, you know, and the thing is, this one's definitely going to feel a bit different because we just have played so little in the last few years. It's not like back in the day where we played almost every second weekend against one another, and there was this really like momentum being built up all the way to the French throughout the clay court season, and then into the grass court season, and then usually it would fade away for the end of the season, you know. But we used to play tons of times during the year, and this hasn't happened in recent times. So we have to remember a little bit how it used to be. And for me, obviously, I'm going to remember my wins, because I did have also a lot of wins against him, even in Grand Slam finals. I know he's leading by a big margin there, but that's okay. I can push those aside and think about the wins. And I got to go really in with a positive, winning sort of mindset, and also remember how well I've actually played this tournament, and that the surface could play in my favor too, and I got to make the most of it.
And lastly, just very short here, as far as the rest of the world, I don't know how much you're aware of just everyone around the globe talking about a Roger-Rafa final. What sort of impression does that have on you, the global impact the two of you have had?
Well, I mean, I guess it's all good, you know, that they're talking good about it, and it's nice that they're talking about tennis on a global level in sports or even beyond. So I think we've done a lot for the game. Rafa's been one of the most popular players that we've had, you know, in tennis, really. He's done tremendous, and I've tried a lot myself, and because we've both been in the game for almost 15-20 years now, a lot of people know us, so, and they look to us. We're completely different people, completely different players. I think this matchup is just very intriguing for a lot of sports fans, so I hope a lot of people are going to tune in. I hope that we can live up to the expectations, and in previous times when we did play, I was never quite sure, like, is it really that important of a tennis match? It just is a tennis match, but I understand the importance of it, and actually this time around I really feel like I'm embracing it in the right way, and that's why I hope I'm really going to play good tennis tomorrow.
I paid my dues, time after time. I've done my sentence, but committed no crime. And bad mistakes, I've made a few,
2017. A legend who tonight featured in his 100th Australian Open match. Undoubtedly, one of the most popular players, if not the most popular player ever to grace us here at Melbourne Park. And now, the holder of 18 Grand Slam singles titles, five of which have been won right here at Rod Laver Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2017 champion of the Australian Open, Roger Federer.
Rogers again.
Thank you, guys. I'm out of words, and Rafa said so many great things, but of course I'd like to also congratulate Rafa on an amazing comeback. I think when we were in I don't think we both, either one of us, believed that we were going to be in the finals of Australia when we saw each other at your academy, you know, sort of 4 or 5 months ago. And here we stand in the finals. You know, I'm happy for you. I would have been happy to lose too, to be honest. The comeback was perfect as it was. So tennis is a tough sport. There's no draws, but if there was going to be one, I would have been very happy to accept the draw tonight and share it with Rafa, really. I know everybody says they work very hard. I did the same. I try really not to shout about it because we got some serious legends and toughest guys in the game, like in Rafa, here tonight. So, but I'd just like to thank my team because it's been a different last 6 months. Let's be honest. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it here, but here I am, and we made it. So I'd just like to thank you guys. Thank you. Danny, my wife, Severin, Ivan, Tony, everybody who's been on the ride, Pierre, my fitness coach at home. It's been amazing, so thanks for that. And of course there's also Rafa's team. You guys worked so hard over the years and deserve everything but more, so I wish you continued success this year and for hopefully many more years to come. You know, stay on the tours, keep playing, Rafa, please. Tennis needs you, so thanks very much for everything you do. Then I'd like, of course, to thank all the sponsors. You know, this building is amazing. Thanks, Rocket, for being here tonight. Again, with your presence, it's always wonderful to have you here. It means so much more to both of us. And of course, you guys fill up the seats and make it just a wonderful experience for us, the players, to fight harder and one more time and one more time. So it's because of you guys that we are standing here tonight as well, and we fought like we could, and yeah, just you guys made it super special for me always. You guys have been amazing over the years. I've been coming here for almost 20 years now, and I've always enjoyed it, and now my family does too, so thank you for that. Yeah, and I hope I didn't forget anything, but just thanks again for everything to everybody, and of course I hope to see you next year. If not, you know, this was a wonderful run here, and I can't be more happy to have won tonight. Thank you very much, guys.